What's up, folks? Heine's Sunday morning week ahead update. How's that? I'll be traveling most this week, so I'm not going to be able to do morning updates. So I figured I'd give you a Sunday snapshot of what I'm looking for the week ahead. So your month end, quarter end, as I said, I thought would rampy ramp, and sure enough, we've rampy ramped. We could see a down day tomorrow just because we have had such a thrust higher, but 4,200, I think, is definitely within range. I know that people are thinking that this is just going to be overextended and come back down, and you're possibly right. We could see a return back down. We'll go over some levels later, but for the macro aspect, this was a bullish close. So we were well above what we needed to close below to make this into a bearish aspect. Now, we do have cycles hitting the later this week into next week, so I don't know if those are going to change kind of what we're seeing. But I think 4,200 is probably a good probability at this time. And then your 4330 is really going to be the tippy top of the resistance channel if we get up there. But we could hit the 4,200 and come back down and continue into this sideways channel with no necessarily elected up or elected down level. We're still quite contained into this level. Still below that 4155 I was watching, and 4309 is the tippy top there. So that 4309 to 4330 is really what I'm looking at for kind of a level that I think is going to be sold. I think that the overall, everyone's still very bearish, and I think that that's the bull cause of what is happening now. Here's your daily. Again, we closed up. Your over-under for tomorrow is going to be 4081, regardless of where we open, and then 40, 50, 60, that 4060 level. 4034 is your 50-day. So if we can get back into the moving averages, the 200, the 100, the 50, I think that those are still going to be points of support. And then your 3960 is still your really your point of control for your yearly volume. That's taking this ES volume back a year. So this is still your point of control. So even if we come, rally up and squeeze, I do think that we're going to, we'll head back to touch this and if not go below. I just don't know if that's going to be this month or next month. I'm interested to see how we continue to go. Again, later this week into next week is going to be really pivotal on what happens from there. So again, your cash gaps up here, and this is really what I'd watch, is your 36 to or 136 to 147, your 59 to 64, and here's a doozy up here, 4200 to 4228. I really like this one. It's going to be resistance. So that 4228 top would be 4200 ES, right? So if we cleared that into that cash gap up there, and then we have this little guy up here, which is 4302, 4305. So that would put ES at that tippy top level of 4330. I'm not overly bearish, but I can't not be just because of, again, that close. So I could see a retrace maybe this week or a comeback down maybe to fill these gaps before we start to go back up. At most, we would clear this 939.71 gap and then return back higher. But I would assume that we would just fill one of these two, if not both, and then return higher if we're going to continue with bullishness. We'll see. There's so much happening now that I can't tell. All I can tell you is that from a levels aspect, the closing was incredibly bullish for a month end and quarter end. So we'll see if that's all window dressing and everybody sells off, or if the bears keep piling on and keep getting wrecked on the way up. I remember we've had these squeezy rallies that just, everyone thinks it should go down, and they're probably right. and then they just get squeezed to death all the way up here, and until finally they're all out is when we'll head back down. So I would really look at these levels up here as resistance and possible turning point. I just don't know the time frame. For the most part, as I said before, we're still in that sideways movement until we get above 4,200 in the SPX. Euro had a good day down yesterday or Friday, so your 103.9 or 109.3, excuse me, is really that level. They might even pop it up and retest this 10.3 level. But my guess here is pretty soon this is going to start to come down, and when it does, it will be ferocious. Now, just because this goes down doesn't mean that this is going to go up or down with it. It could go up. We could see euro tanking, equities up, just as a flight to safety from Europe. So there's a lot going on over there as well that could cause capital flight here that would add to the bull case for SPX. Again, you got to realize that just because we only look at what's happening in the US, this is a worldwide market and capital flows come in from everywhere. So just trade cautiously throughout this week. I know there's economic stuff coming out. Monday, Bullard speaks. He usually poops in the punch bowl. You got manufacturing, construction spend. Tuesday, not too much. Wednesday's ADP employment. Initial claims on Thursday. I will be here on Friday. I'll get back Thursday night, so we'll go up these things. But nothing really on this that I think that is going to change anything crazy. I think that if any news later this week, starting on the 5th, comes out, more than likely is going to be European. And then next week as well is going to be a huge target week. And I think that would more than likely be European, but it could be here as well. So I don't know. All I know is there's a turning event coming, and I don't know if that's going to be bullish or bearish. But as it stands right now, I have no reason to believe that it is bearish. Again, just because of what we're seeing and how this is. So anyway, I will be on and off throughout the week in the chats, posting charts, whatever, doing my best. Just won't be at home to do videos and do what I love. Anyway, any questions, let me know.